Hey guys, it's Sara Oehler here with SoftFlexCompany.com, and today I'm going to be doing a SoftFlex Live Design Challenge. If you've never joined me before, a SoftFlex Live Design Challenge is when I receive a box from a partner company. I have no idea what is in the box. I'm going to open it up here live on camera and share all the goodies inside it with you, and then I'm going to make something sight unseen right here on our live video with Facebook. So today's video partner is Beadaholique.com. I'm really excited to work with them because they have such a broad assortment of products. In fact, I was reading on my notes that I put together for today, 35,000 different products, you guys, including SoftFlex beading wire. So they've got a lot of really great pieces and parts to pick from. I can't imagine how they even picked what to put in the box today. So it's going to be really fun to see what they put together. What's really unique about Beadaholique is they have an amazing design team, and I got to spend a little bit of time with them just recently. It was just like a month ago. I did some YouTube videos with them about SoftFlex, and it was such an amazing experience. I'm always a one-woman show here, so it was so fun to have a cameraman and like somebody to actually edit the footage and make these just incredible, beautiful videos. And you can always check those out at YouTube. Look for Beadaholique. And it's spelled in the title of this video, so you get the correct spelling. They will be here today, so they'll be posting some links and things for us to take a look at, and hopefully if they're here now, then go ahead and post a link to that beautiful YouTube channel. That was another astounding number when I was looking at it today. They have over 1,200 free instructional videos on their YouTube channel. Can you guys imagine? 1,200. There's Beadaholique. It was really hard to choose what to send you, Sarah. I'm sure it was hard to choose. You have so many products. So I'm really excited to see what you ended up doing. So let's get a few things out of the way and then we'll move to opening the box. This is your last week to buy a treasure trove kit. We do have a few left. Next Wednesday, I will be beading from this same kit that you can buy. You can either bead ahead of time and post pictures of what you've made, or you can actually bead with me and make the same item that I'm making. So I'll leave that up to you. But it is a mixture of items from a warehouse closure. So it's not all SoftFlex items that you can normally buy. It's some pressed glass seed beads, some bugle beads, some check beads, some findings that you would not normally get from SoftFlex. So it's a mixture of items that I curated and put together, and we're gonna bead with it next Wednesday live at 1 p.m. So if you haven't checked them out, they're $24.95. You can find them on our website, www.softflexcompany.com. The second order of business, if you bought something in the live sale last week, I will be sending your PayPal information later this afternoon. It's going to come from an account called Rock Hard Jewels, which is Mike Sherman's personal account. So take a look and make sure that you or pay up your bill, and then I can get those shipped out ASAP. We're wrapping them up right now, and they all look fantastic. Okay, so let's go open up our box. Hey, and this is what we made. Was this 2 weeks ago? This is Heather Powers beads. I love this necklace. I've worn it several times now, and I feel like it goes with so many different items. Oh, and then these were beadshop.com, I think. So yes, let's go make something new for me to wear for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my junk and we're gonna move over here. So one of the cool things about Beadaholique is their design team. And not only that, they're creating the most fantastic design space, you guys. They have created a brand new room in their main office. I got to see it. the unfinished version. I heard they just painted it, but they are making it into a space that's going to be inspirational. So when they do their Facebook Lives, it's going to sort of feel like a space where all of you could come and hang out and bead with them. And also just to keep them inspired and like, what a cool company that they're willing to do that for a design team to keep them inspired and feeling motivated. I mean, to make 1,200 videos, you've got to be pretty inspired. I have to say, because this making a video business is difficult, especially the kinds of videos they're making, which are so finished and beautiful and nice. So I'm going to start opening up my Beadaholique box here. It's a pretty big box, so I think we got a lot of stuff to work with today. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Kimberly. Kimberly, I have your PayPal. You're on my list for PayPals today. It was very exciting to see what everybody ended up getting in their live sale baskets. It took us all day yesterday. Rosa and I worked on it all day, pulling them together. It was really, really an undertaking. So I'm excited to get those out the door to all of you guys. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside so we can go ahead and read our little note here. Oh, they have their own paper. Look at that paper. They have their own boxes too. I was noticing that. Look at Beadaholique. Very cool. Okay. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to California and welcome to your mystery box. We so enjoyed giving you the tour and having you shoot videos with us. These are some of our favorite items from recent launches at Beadaholique. We can't wait to see what you create. Kat, Julie, Sarah, and the Beadaholique team. Awesome. Okay, so let's get going. All right, so we got some pretty boxes in here. Oh, look at the California charm. I love that. Do you guys have them for more than one state? That's so fitting. For those of you that don't watch regularly, I just moved to California from Arizona. I lived in Arizona for 20 years, and then I lived between Montana and Arizona for the 20 years before that. So I am a brand new Californian as of this month, and that is very thoughtful and very sweet from my fellow Southern Californians. Beadaholique is located in the Los Angeles area. They don't have a store or anything you can actually physically go into, but they do ship from there just so you have kind of an idea. And you can go into their studio through their live videos, which you can find on their Facebook page. And make sure Julie and Kat, that you post links to anything I talk about, the YouTube page, your Facebook page, your website. You know, if you want to post a link to this charm, somebody out there might want an easy way to go find something. So please do post as many links as you want. This was very, very, very thoughtful. Thank you very much. Beadaholique says, we just love the Tiara Cast California charm, and we're glad you like it. Oh, so this is Tiara Cast. I should have known, you know, I love Tiara Cast. Look at how cute that is, you guys. I love it. I'm going to wear that a lot. Okay, so I think these boxes must go together. Kimberly says, seems to be crazy amounts of jewelry businesses in California. I could visit California and just go from jewelry place to place for inspiration. There are a lot here. It's a very creative space to live. I think that might be part of it. The owners that own Softlex are born native Californians. They've both lived in California, I think, their entire lives. One of them's lived in Sonoma County his entire life. Okay, so what do we have here? Pink crazy lace agate gemstones. Look at how beautiful those are. Those are so similar to our pink tourmaline color. I really love that. What do you guys think of those? Let me get them up close so you can get a better view. Pink crazy lace agate gemstones. They're like rondelle shapes, not faceted. Those are beautiful. We got a few items in this guy here. So maybe I'll keep the box so I can keep things together. This is a check glass. Those do not even look like check glass. These are faceted micro spacer beads, 2 by 3 millimeter, but they're glass, not metal. Don't those look like metal, you guys? How awesome are those? And they're faceted, so they're gonna really sparkle, which is pretty cool. Awesome. We've got some more check glass faceted micro spacer beads, 2 by 3 millimeter. And these are different in that they are a bright silver color. So it looks like they have it in 2 different colors, like a darker, more gritty color, and then a lighter, brighter silver. Kimberly's asking, are these true twos? Oh, Sarah Diamond says, yes, they are. Oh, okay. They have a specific name. I've never even seen these. So true twos, everybody. They do look like, they look so much like metal, Rochelle. But they're light because they're glass. They feel really nice and light. Okay, so these are check pressed glass beads. They have a nice rainbow effect to them. Oh, I wish I spoke French. I took 4 years of French. You'd think I could speak French. But no parle français. barely parle français. Okay, so I speak Franglish, French and English together. Okay, so we've got some check glass. We've got the bright silver color that matches these little guys. We've got the darker, grittier, almost like a hematite color. And then we've got this beautiful turquoise. And here's the one that's even. It's got a really nice, you can see it's catching some rainbow colors in there too. And then these guys I'll show you again. They look so much like metal beads, but they're glass. Really cool. Those are awesome. Okay, so we've got a few cool things here to work with. I'm going to set those aside so we can keep opening, and then in the end, we'll start putting some stuff together. Now you can find all of these things at beadaholique.com. They were lovely enough to offer a coupon code, so I posted it up here so you guys can see it pretty easily. It's SEED20, and they created a link that shows all of the products that I'm opening today, and all of those products are discounted 20% off with this coupon code until September 25th. They're also having a sale on seed beads. So it's a great opportunity to buy some of your seed beads. If you just bought my new book, Seed Bead Revolution, they carry a lot of different kinds of seed beads. Let me grab my book real fast. They don't sell books. You have to buy the book from Softflex. But they do sell a really wide assortment of seed beads. So this is my new book. It's called Seed Bead Revolution, and it uses a bunch of different kinds of seed beads, not just the rounds, but it uses super duos, super unos, mini duos, dragon scales, O beads, tri beads, quad beads, rulas, tilas. You got the whole half tilas. It's got the whole gambit. So if you bought the book and you need some seed beads, I highly suggest you head on over to beadaholique.com and use that coupon code SEED20 to not only get some of the items you're seeing here today, but also your seed bead stash for the book. Oh, you sent me one of these. I just got one of these too. So you guys must have these up and for sale on your website. I just got one of these from Swarovski too in one of their little boxes. But we don't sell Swarovski, so I just get a sample to show. And I haven't gotten a chance to play around with it yet. But look at how gorgeous this is, you guys. This is the Swarovski Growing Crystal Rhombus Pendant. These are brand new on the market, and you can get 20% off of it today at Beadaholique.com. It comes in several different colors. Isn't that right, Julie and Kat? I think it's like 4 or 5 different colors. So I assume you're probably carrying more than just this crystal clear color, which is gorgeous. So maybe check that out too. Let's see, did you mention that they carry a wide variety of soft flex? They do. They carry a lot of our metallic colors. So I grabbed a few items that I'm pretty sure they carry on their website. They have like our champagne and our silver and our gold, our brass, our copper, and black and white for sure. They may have more than that. That was just off the top of my head. I knew that those were some of the colors that they were carrying that I should try to use today. So you can find them under, I think it's under stringing supplies to find soft flex, and then you click on beading wire. Okay, so that's awesome. I'm really excited to use one of those today. Thanks for sending that. And let's see what else is in here. Crystal quartz sterling silver chain. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Let me get up close so you can really see it. So it's got little crystal quartz dangling from a chain, and it is so gorgeous. I can already see, like, I could totally see these two things obviously going together so nicely. Ooh, what's this? Antiqued silver chevron chain. Softflex does not sell chain, so whenever I see chain, I get super excited because I don't get to use it that often. Whoa, look at how cool this is, you guys. I could see a really cool long earring with this, with just a really nice bead hanging from the bottom. That would be awesome. So this is called Antiqued Silver Chevron Chain. Let me get up close and stop moving around so much so you can actually see it. And it's a nice big long piece of it too. I could even see attaching it on the back here. Oop, I got it twisted up over here. Could see it on the back end of this even. Would be so awesome. Very cool. I likey. Antiqued silver circles charm chain. Oh, I love chain. I love unique chain especially. Whoa, look at how cool this is. It's got a bunch of just circle links hanging off of it. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Here, let's put it down so you can see what it's like on the flat surface. Ooh, this is exciting. I'm getting really excited. Can you tell? This is going to be a really fun kit. Beadaholique just linked to Softflex on their website, so that's a good place to find our products. Lydia loves the chain. Jessica likes it too. She says, wow, this is awesome. Okay, so we still have, you guys, believe it or not, we still have more to open. So let's set this aside, as excited as I am about it. We're going to leave this kind of out because I'm pretty sure I'm going to use some of these components because they're exciting me to no end. So we'll just kind of move it over here to the side and we'll go on to our next section. And this has a really cute little charm on it too. Is this a tiara cast charm as well? It's super cute. It's got a little deer and a baby. Miriam, you do need all of this. You should go to their website, beadaholique.com, and use this coupon code. You have until September 25th. So a little information about Beadaholique. They got started about 17 years ago. And they started out like most bead companies do, with a small shoebox full of beads. Their story sounds very similar to ours, I thought when I was reading it. And that was founded by Sara, and she joined forces with her partner Chris and expanded to a small filing cabinet from the shoebox, and then a spare bedroom, and then hired a friend to work at the kitchen table. And today, Beadaholique occupies a warehouse complete with a design studio and a video facility, so they can share all of their beading ideas and expertise. And that's so similar to the Softflex story. You know, Softflex started about 25, maybe 30 years ago now, and it started in a garage. In fact, I tell this story quite frequently, but to get a 30-foot spool, they used to put two paint cans 30 feet apart from each other and run around the paint cans to make the right length of wire. So most beading businesses are small businesses. Ours still is a small business, relatively small business. And, you know, they grow and people start to recognize their name all over the world. But they almost always start with just a love of something simple, like some simple beads. Look at these. These are O beads. I used these. Oh, they're called demi rounds in this brand. These are size 8s. I used some of these. They're called O beads in the version I used in Seed Bead Revolution. And these also are demi-round. These are size 8. I'm going to open these ones up because they're clear, so it's going to be really kind of hard to see. Oh, I didn't need to tear that off. Welcome. This is the lessons of what you don't do. The lid just pops right off. I didn't need to tear up the tag that told me everything about them. Anyway, you can learn from me. Don't do that. Do what I say, not what I do. Okay, so these are little O beads in a crystal color, so they are a little bit difficult to see on camera, but I bet they're gorgeous, especially on a piece of colored Softflex, where that color can kind of expose through the beads. Probably look really pretty. And then we have one last package here, and these are just round size 8. And I think, yeah, they're the same color as the O beads. And that'll kind of give you a little bit of an eye as to what's different about these beads. They are thinner. They have a bigger hole like this, but they're thinner, and they're more of just an O shape rather than an actual seed bead. And, ooh, okay, so this is an exclusive Beadaholique designer palette. And this was something I definitely wanted to talk about today. They not only have these palettes, which are awesome, and the palettes are designer curated color palettes of seed beads that you can work with. They also have exclusive designer kits, which are jewelry kits that are released every month. So I assume those come with instruction, most likely. I didn't ask, but I'm going to assume they come with some sort of either written instruction or they go along with a video that they're teaching. They do online classes on their Facebook live feed, so that might be something that you want to check out as well. So these exclusive Beadaholique designer palettes are awesome because they pair colors together, and sometimes it's hard when you're online trying to figure out what colors actually work together, because pictures online are not always representative of true color. That's why video is so nice too, because you can get a much better idea of what something's gonna look like in a video than you can just a flat picture. So I think these are so smart because you're gonna get a color palette that's just really gorgeous. And Beadaholique is really on top of what's hot now and the trend. So you're gonna get a lot of really great options that are on trend with what's happening right now, which I love. And they say the kits always come with full written instructions, and then there's always a complete how-to video. So there you go. So all of these guys were size, I want to say they're size 11s. Where does it say? Matte color, oh, it says right on the front. Sarah, turn it around. These are all size 11s. And then, yeah, there's 4 of them that come together that, you know, would all work in the same kind of color palette. And then they added a few more colors in for me to work with, which is awesome. Okay, oh, this is so, I'm so feeling so inspired right now. So thank you, Beadaholique. I love, this is one of the best parts of my job. I say this every time, but it's neat because I never know what I'm gonna make. I don't know what I'm gonna be using, and that in itself can be very inspiring. So we've got some Nun Design antique silver-plated lobster clasps, which are nice. We have, ooh, what's this? A Nun Design open frame pendant. Ooh, oh, that's cool. Look at that. So it's got, the holes are running through the top, and then you've got a big pendant. That's really cool. I'm liking that. It's neat. Something to think about. Okay, and we have a Nun Design toggle clasp. It's a hammered toggle bar. So I'm gonna guess it has another part that goes with it. Nun Design. Do you guys buy Nun Design products? I haven't used a lot of their stuff before, but I always hear really good things about them. And here is the toggle part that goes with that. So these would go together. I love the pendant too, Rochelle. Isn't it? Are you talking about this pendant? Because I'm still in love with this pendant. But I love both of them. They're really cool. I mean, I really think Swarovski like hit a home run with this guy. I don't know who came up with this on their team, but I really think it's a home run. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so we've got a Nun Design open frame pendant, which is a horseshoe. So that's cool. Awesome. You love both of them too? Yes. Ooh. Nun Design paddle eye pins. That's neat. Paddle eye pins. Let me see if I can get these up here. You can see them really well. So these are open rings that can be attached. It looks to me like you could string them, you know, something like this with some beads in between, which would be kind of cool. You could see maybe even something like that would be kind of cool. Where it's falling in the center. I don't know how it would look with this one. That could be kind of neat. As a center of a necklace. I'm into that. And then they sent me some antiqued silver open jump rings in a 5mm 20 gauge. So these are basic open jump rings. So here's the thing. Beadaholique has, like I said at the beginning of this video, over 35,000 products. This is a very small amount of what they sell. So when I'm done with this video, you definitely have to go over there and check it out because you're only going to see a small portion of what they sell here on the video. Yeah, so this is, I like where this is going, so I'm definitely gonna continue to work on that. I definitely want to use this, and I liked the idea of it working with this, maybe at the bottom. I do really like this chain as well, and I could see that maybe even working with this design here. So I need to decide what beads would work with this from what I have here. I do really like these and these a lot. And then I did like, I like everything, so that's the difficulty. I liked these little guys. I thought they were kind of cool. So I'm gonna grab some of those out. And what's nice about all these little boxes that they sent me is I can try to keep myself organized. We know it won't happen, but a girl can always try, right? Okay, so I'm gonna open up some beads off camera into the boxes just so that I can grab what I want and need when I want and need it. Let me open this guy up too. Let's see. I have to do cutters on this. There we go. So these again are some check beads. I'm gonna open these up and just dump them into my box over here so I can keep track of them. And let me see if I can find my cutters. We'll probably get in closer here. And we'll dump these over here. All right. So I think I'm just going to use a basic, I think I'm just going to use our white soft flex. For this particular design that I'm working on. I think the white will reflect nicely with the beads that I'm hoping to use. I'm just going to play around with it to begin with because I've never used these components before and I don't know how it's all going to fit together. So I need to do a little play around to see what's going to happen here. So I'm going to start off with one of the smaller of those check glass beads on my white soft flex. I'm using our 0.019 inch soft flex. That is what we call our medium. It's all purpose for glass, mineral, and metal. So it works with lots of different types of materials. Like if you're doing a check glass and then you're mixing in some metals, maybe some seed beads, but then you also have something more abrasive like a crystal. This is usually your go-to diameter because it will fit a pretty small hole, but it can handle things that are more abrasive. And I just did a really awesome video for Beadaholique, and maybe they can grab a link to it, that's all about soft flex in the different diameters and then also the different brands, and it explains what you should use for every kind of project. And they did it with their awesome cameraman in their studio, so it's a really beautiful video, and I'd love if you guys got a chance to check it out. You should do that. Okay, so I'm gonna sort of just play around and see what happens here. I'm gonna take one of these Nun Design paddles and string it, and I'm checking to make sure that it doesn't slide over the top of my bead, that it's gonna slide up against it really nicely. I'm gonna put another one on, and then I'm gonna string through here, because again, I'm just sort of checking to see what the size is gonna be like, especially between these two posts here. I wanna make sure that I can get a good, I can fill in that gap nicely. So let's string this. I think there might be a little more width there, and I might need, oh, maybe not. It may not even fit. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it fits perfectly, you guys. What? Yes. When do things work out that well? Awesome. Okay, so it fit just how I had hoped it would. So what are these nun-design pieces made out of is my next question for the Beadaholique gals. So one thing I'm noticing when I hold it upright, it does this. It overlaps on that, and that's something I don't particularly like. So I am going to remove the side paddle, and maybe I'll save these for earrings, and I'll focus in on, oh, I want to go on this guy first. I'll focus in on this as my centerpiece for the design. This is meant to be, when it fits like that perfectly, they're calling out to each other. It's supposed to be together. Okay. So I'm gonna give myself a little more length here with wire. So if you've never used our wire before, there's like a little clip, and sometimes you can just slide it, which makes it easy. When it's a nice full spool like this, it's a brand new spool of wire, it's a little harder to slide. You just have to kind of lift it up and let some wire out. And I'm gonna let go enough. I'm gonna do my quick measurement around. I'm gonna do kind of a shorter necklace this time, not anything too long. And so I'm just gonna let the wire go and kind of think about what it is that I'd like to do. I mean, I like it just like this, but I think I'm gonna add a couple more things here. So I'm gonna add one of these beads on each side. And then I wanted to play around. I really liked how these check glass beads look like metal, even though they're not metal. I think it's pretty amazing. So I'm gonna put one of those on each side for sure. And we'll see what that kind of looks like. Let's see. I'm such a simple person. Sometimes I like things just to be left simple like this. But I feel like I could do a little bit more here. So let me think about how I can maybe incorporate in some of these O-rings or some of the other pieces that I have here. I do really like, I also wonder about using the chain on either side, attaching, you know, using the wire to attach to it, but then using chain to attach the ends. I don't know, what do you guys think about having the chain up the back side and just sort of crimping to it down here, letting this be kind of a pendant that crimps into the chain? Why don't we try it and see what it's like, and then we can decide what we think. Because I could very possibly not be explaining what I'm thinking. Sharon says yes to the chain. Sharon, I owe you a PayPal today too, and I'm gonna get that out to you after the live show. I was just waiting on a PayPal password, but I have it now, so I'm gonna be good to go. So I like the chain running in a specific direction. I like these arrows running down, so I'm gonna attach here at the bottom so that they can run down pointing at this guy here. I think I have enough chain to do a whole necklace, but we'll see. We could even do part chain, and then go into some more beadwork. That might be kind of cool to try. Okay, so I've got my wire. I'm using a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. These are Softflex crimps, so they are seamless and strong. It's really important to use a good quality crimp tube because it holds your whole design together. And you want to make sure when you're putting something together and putting the time and energy in that you're using something that's going to be really strong. So I doubled back into my crimp tube. 2x2s work just great with our medium diameter. In fact, they'll work with any of our diameters, 014, 019, or 024 for stringing. It's a little tighter on 024, but they still fit. You want to leave enough room always that whatever you're attaching to can really move around. You're not going to lose it. I'm going to press my wires so that they're side by side together and inside that crimp tube. And then I'm going to use our magical crimpers today. And if you haven't ever seen these before, they have a little divot on each side that's identical. And when you put it together, it creates sort of like a round dome. And the crimp tube, the 2x2 crimp tube, fits in it just perfectly. So you slide it in the very middle of those crimping pliers and then compress. When you do that, if you've done it correctly, you're going to get 4 little corners that sort of look like a little ravioli. And then you're going to do the same thing, dead center inside the plier, but now you have the 4 corners facing out. So you're actually going to compress those 4 corners in, and you're just going to go around it, just gently turning and compressing a few times till it's all nice and snug. So what we did was we compressed the edge of the crimp tube into the nylon coating of the wire, and it makes it into a little round bead. And just a reminder for anybody who has joined us recently, any of the products that I'm using today that came in the mystery box are 20% off at Beadaholique.com using coupon code SEED20. And they do have a really nice link for that. I know they've posted it at least once. So take a look, and you can get 20% off on seed beads as well. So it's really an awesome deal. So I'm just going to tighten this up so we can kind of take a look and decide our next steps. This is quite a bit of chain, so let's get it out of the way. I'm kind of thinking it might be sort of cool to cut the chain off here and do some more beads here and then continue with the chain and just see what that looks like. Like, can we make this chain, you know, uniquely our own? I think that might be kind of cool. So let's try it. So I'm thinking maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe here is where we would cut off. I should get a bead stopper out to stop the other side. Let me find my bead stoppers real fast. Because nothing is more irritating than when you pick up your design and everything goes flying. Okay, so I am going to clip onto the wire there. Let's see, someone's asking if they can buy the mystery boxes. That's interesting. I don't know that you guys packaged them in the boxes themselves or if you are just selling them individually. I assume you're buying them, people are buying the items individually. Okay, let's see. Oh, hi Sarah, it's nice to know you're watching too. I had such a nice time when I visited Beadaholique and got to visit with the owner, Sarah, and then the design team. It's just fantastic there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to clip off and we'll try. We've got plenty of chain, so if we don't like it, we can always go back. Okay, so one thing I see is I left a little bit of a jump ring on there from the other piece of chain. So I'm just gonna snip until I can get that off, and we'll free that hole so that we can attach more wire there and see what happens next. Okay, so I'm gonna cut some of this wire off here because now I know I'm just attaching like this on the other side, so I don't need all this wire. So I'll just leave a healthy amount of white soft flex on that side. And I'm gonna get another crimp tube out. And same size, I'm using 2x2s. I'm gonna attach to the other end of this arrow here. And I think this chain would make beautiful earrings. So hopefully we can make some earrings too, for sure. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna look at anytime I attach on two sides of something is, are my lengths about the same size? Just those little details like that can really make a design take it to the next level, a little bit more professional when you spend time thinking about how to attach things and how to attach them well and in the right proportion. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna find that dead center spot of the crimping pliers, and I am gonna crimp. And this is what it should look like. 4 little corners like a ravioli. And then I'll turn and compress again. And I'm just trying to be real careful because of that chevron design. I want to get in close, but I don't want to mash my chain. So I'm just going to go around and around. The inventor of these is a lady out of Prescott Valley, Arizona, and she told me that I need to make sure I go around it like 6 times at least to make sure it's all nice and tight and secure. And then I'm using the flat side of my cutter, sliding it up against that crimp tube and snipping right next to it so I can get a nice clean connection. So this is where we're at. The wire's pulling a little funny down here. So we'll see if we're able to get this to lay correctly. That's going to be the only trick, is the weight of this going to help make that hang properly? And we'll find that out, won't we? Okay, so I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do one of these little ones from the check glass, one of the metallic-y looking tiny guys, and then one of the bigger ones that I haven't used yet to see what that looks like, if I like it or not, or if it's going to kind of take over. Let's see. Another one of the little metal ones. I like to see things and play around with them. For those of you that haven't watched my shows before, to kind of see how things look. I think that actually looks really good. It especially looks good, not as much when it's laying flat like this as it does when it's hanging, which is the more important angle, of course, because that's what it's going to do, is hang on somebody's body, not lay flat, hopefully. Yeah, so I think that actually looks really pretty good. And the proportion of that big bead isn't bad since the pendant is so big down here. And we could even do a little wire wrapping at the bottom if we wanted to add in a little bit more of that turquoise down here. So that's something to think about as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and first and foremost, I'm going to check my chain where I took apart. So it's got like kind of a little burr on the end there. I'm just going to kind of snip that softly, and you could even use a file just to kind of make sure that sharp edge is not there. I don't want to snip it too much, but enough that it's not going to bother my wire when I attach again. Because these links are actually part of each one of these chevrons. Okay, so I feel pretty good about that. I can connect now on the other end. And of course I don't need all this wire, so I'm just gonna snip a little bit and get that wire out of the way. And we'll get a crimp and attach to the wire or the chain again on this side. I always talk about how much I love my job here, but I imagine being a designer at Beadaholique might even be better. Might. I do love my job, but man, they just make stuff all the time, you guys. Constantly putting out videos and project ideas and inspiring. They're a class act up there, down there. I'm up here now. They're down there. It's kind of confusing. So I'm going to check out my two ends again. I'm trying to fidget this as close to the beads as possible, but it doesn't need to be perfect. A little bit of that wire can poke out. It's not a big deal. You don't want it too stiff because then it's not going to really lay comfortably. So that's looking pretty good, like it's pretty centered. And I will go ahead and crimp here. So using my magical crimpers again. Oh, Terry, thank you. Terry says, Sarah, this is so fun and fascinating to watch you. Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully if you haven't watched before, you'll watch again because I do design challenges about every other week. And it's always a different company, lots of different types of companies even, from bead stores to big online brands like Beadaholique to last 2 weeks ago, I did a bead designer named Heather Powers with Humble Beads. So I'm always doing something new. And even I don't know what I'm going to be doing. So it's exciting. Lots of fun. All right. So now I've attached again to the chain, so we're at another decision point where we can decide to just do chain around the back of the design, and come in the other way, or if we want to add more beads to the design. So I'm just going to hang it upright so I can kind of see what's happening here and get an idea of what I'm thinking about this. I do really love this chain. I think it might be good just like this. I mean, what are you guys thinking if I come around the other way, do the same thing on the other side? I think the chain, just the chain up the back would be pretty fantastic. And then of course we have to make like a really cool earring. We've got these cool things still left to make earrings from, and then a snippet of chain for sure, because this is a pretty long chain. I think I have a little bit extra there that I could make some earrings to match this guy. Okay, so everybody feel good about that, leaving the chain up the back? I think I'm pretty happy with it. And then I might wire wrap down here a little bit. Let me get a little bit of craft wire just so we can play around with that idea. Kim says she loves that chain also. Okay, so craft wire. Where is it even in this mess of a new office? I think it's in here. There we go. Okay. So this is 24, which is a little bit thin, but I think I can probably manage. Just testing it out to see what it's going to be like anyway. So this is a non-tarnish craft wire made by Softflex. And I'm going to see if I can locate my nylon dot wires too. As I had mentioned at the beginning, I just moved here. So I'm still figuring out my office space. And in fact, I was thinking a lot about Beadaholique as we were talking about it. We're gonna make it feel a little bit like a studio in here too, so that I can feel inspired by the space as well for when I'm doing videos, and hopefully all of you can too. So we'll be painting the walls eventually, and I have not unboxed anything because I know I'm gonna have to move it out again. So this is our non-tarnish silver-plated soft flex craft wire. It's made in the USA, and it comes in lots of different gauges. This is our 24 gauge. So basically, this is a copper wire with a silver plating, and then it has a polyurethane coating that keeps it from tarnishing. I do kind of wish I was using, we have one that isn't such a bright silver, but just for playing around, I won't worry too much about what color this is. And I'm just gonna get like a healthy length of wire. So I don't know, what is that, 6 inches? It's not too much. And I'm just gonna bend my end here. So it's probably like an inch. And that way I can kind of grab on here. And usually when I start wire wrapping something, I do a wrap. Let's wrap with this end. I do a wrap to get started, just to sort of anchor it in place. One thing that's good to remember about jewelry making is you don't have to be perfect, especially when you're making handmade jewelry. It's nice to, you know, definitely have a professional eye about what you're doing, but don't be too hard on yourself. So I'm just gonna pick up some of these check beads that I was already using and see what it looks like when I wrap them around the bottom here, just to bring in a little bit more color. And I'm just doing one wrap, I think, between each one, and bring the next one in. If we don't like it, we'll just trim it off, right, ladies? And maybe gentlemen. I know Thomas is out there. Let's see. And I'm just gonna wrap once around. And I'm just kind of pushing it up to the center so that they can kind of be together. String another bead on. If you're just joining me, I've unwrapped a bunch of items from Beadaholique.com. I'm covering up my nice coupon code information here. So a lot of the materials that I'm using right now, you can actually find on their website, and you can get a discount on it using SEED20, the coupon code. And I'm just seeing what this looks like if I wire wrap some beads onto this Nun Design pendant. And I'm using 24 gauge. I should put this here so you can see what I'm using. 24 gauge craft wire. Oh, so what are you guys thinking so far? It goes this way. Yay to the wire wrapping or nah to the wire wrapping? I would love to hear your thoughts. Leave it or remove it. Stay or go. What do you guys think? Should I leave the beads on the bottom or should I just let it be a little bit more? It looked very modern without them, which I tend to like really simple, but I really like challenging myself to try new things. Oh, I got a couple yeses. I do like how it brings some color down there. Turquoise seems to be a color that can be worn with so many outfits. That's so true, Terry. I use turquoise a lot. Ask my regular viewers. Turquoise is one of my favorite colors for sure. I like it both ways. Stay with 5 beads. Oh, okay. Well, I did 6 beads. Do you think 5 beads would be better? Let's look at it. Flat. Sometimes it's easier to see. Yeah, maybe a bead in the bottom, in the middle would make some sense. That's interesting. This sort of has a, I just realized this sort of has a chevron shape to it at the bottom that kind of matches the chain that we're using up the side, which is really cool. So rather than doing 5, let me see if I can fidget this a little bit to move this guy into the middle. I do like odd numbers, and we'll move these down. And we'll do 7. Cynthia says 5 or 7 beads. Yeah, I agree. I like a good odd number assortment too. All right. You guys feel better about that, having the bead in the middle? I like it better. Let me pull it up closer. Yes, I think that fixed it. Oh, good. I'm glad. Okay, so I'm gonna, and I don't even mind the non-tarnished silver actually looks pretty good on here, even though it's a lot lighter and brighter than the Nun Design silver, but it still looks good. I like it. Those worked out really well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go on the back side and clip. And again, I'm using the flat side toward where I'm clipping so I can get a nice flush cut. If you need to, you can always get a pair of chain nose pliers to just kind of dig that into the right space. And nice. Okay, so this is kind of where we're gonna leave off with this design, and I will finish the second side after the live video so we can move on to doing another project before I have to hop skip out of here to run all of those PayPal charges from our live sale last week. So I'm gonna make a pair of earrings to match this for sure. So I'm gonna set this guy aside. And let's talk earrings now. Why don't we move him up here? And I'm still gonna make this too. Probably not on today's video because I'm gonna run out of time, but I will make something with this and I will show it to all of you when I get a chance. Maybe next week when we do the treasure trove design, I can show you something then. Okay, so we've got these that I think would be kind of cool for earrings. I also still dig the idea of the chain. Maybe this can work together with like some chevrons and then a bead. Is that gonna get way too long? I just really love the chevron chain. So one thing I'm noticing is, I don't know if I did this or if it came like this, but I'm going to just make sure I clip off this end one that isn't in good order. Want to always look at your parts and pieces closely. And I'm thinking 3 of these would be good. And I'm going the opposite direction. I want to make sure I clip this correctly. So I think I have to clip the What's the difficulty of deconstructing chain? It's trying to figure out where exactly are you deconstructing. Okay, so we've got that. Thinking about something like that up at top, and maybe we could use that open jump ring to connect it that they sent. I'm just gonna trim off my bottom guy here so that I can get another 3-link piece for my second earring. 2, 3. Just gonna trim. This chain comes from Beadaholique.com. Those of you that are just, people kind of pop on and pop off here. So if you're looking for the chain, you're not going to find it from Softflex. You're going to find it from Beadaholique.com. So now I'm thinking I can attach using the same wire, Softflex wire, and attach the paddle to the chain and then attach this at the top to an ear wire. So I'm going to get out a piece of white Softflex beading wire. Jen says the chain is so cool. I think so too. I love a good chain. They have so many different styles out now. It's super exciting when people send me chain. Okay, so I'm going to string my crimp tube, go into the paddle from Nun Designs that Beadaholique sells, go back into my crimp tube and just pull this down close enough that this can still kind of move around. It's not too tight. Go. And I'm going to compress again using my magical crimpers. I've gone over it a couple times during this video, so if you're just joining us, you can always watch it again on a replay, or you can go to our YouTube channel, our Softflex YouTube channel, and we have tons of videos on using magical crimpers. So that's all crimped and attached, and then I can go ahead and trim my wire. Trim my wire, and I'm going to string one of these cute little beads onto here, and then I'm going to attach to the chain using a crimp tube again. So we'll attach here at the bottom, go back into the crimp tube, and pull this down. There we go. And if you haven't already, do be sure to click over after this video and like Beadaholique's Facebook page, because they do quite a few live videos. And I think you guys are gonna really, really love them. So go check it out for sure. And I'm just crimping. Usually when you start wire wrapping, like on this piece, I just made a bend in the wire and I just wrapped once and just got going. It's pretty easy. Doesn't require a lot of working ahead. All right, so this is what we've got on this side. And then let me see if I can find those jump rings. I know they sent some awesome jump rings, yes. I don't know if these are gonna fit. These are 20 gauge and the loop on this is pretty small, but let's give it a go and see. These are antiqued silver open jump rings, 5mm 20 gauge. And usually I would do 2 chain nose pliers with the jump ring to open it. In this case, I'm just gonna do my chain nose, and then sometimes I use the very tip of my crimping pliers as my second pair of pliers, and that'll just allow me to open up that jump ring. And you always wanna open it kind of out. Let's see if I can get a good, sometimes it's hard to get, oh, there we go. You wanna open it out, not out as in this way, but this way, so that you don't ruin the shape of the jump ring. And then I'm gonna try to slide this on. Oh, it does fit, yay. Again, it's like it was just meant to be. Okay, and I'm gonna close this up, and then I just have to find a pair of ear wires in my stash here that I can attach this to. And we've got a fun, cute earring. Let me see if I have some ear wires right here. And I can do the second earring for sure on my own and then post a picture for you guys. Let's just attach our ear wire on this one real fast. And so I've got my ear wire, same kind of idea as the open jump ring. You want to just open it up to the side, and then you can slide this on. Oh yeah, that's so true. I didn't think about the way that the arrows were pointing. I should turn that around. That is a very good point. I would probably like that better too, so that they match. Good thinking. Okay, so that's something I can definitely work on my own. These kind of lay funny when they're flat, but they're really cute when they're dangling. I like them. Definitely something I'll wear pretty regularly. Yeah, those arrows, I should have had them pointing the opposite direction to match this guy here. So I'm super excited about this still, and just really want to work on something, like even something just simple where I don't think these jump rings are quite big enough for this, where you attach to the chain and then like a big long piece of soft flex in the back would be so easy and quick, but something I would totally wear on a regular basis. One thing I do like to do with soft flex when I need to make a jump ring and I want it to be kind of substantial, if I'm using like white soft flex, so you can always double through here. You want to leave kind of a length and then double through again, so you get like almost like a double jump ring effect, and it layers a little bit. Can look kind of cool. Because you can go through a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube 3 times with a medium soft flex. So once I've done all that, this time I'm just going to use regular crimping pliers. So if you haven't used these guys before, the back hole has a little tooth, and then this outside hole is round. I'm going to use the back hole first and just gently compress so it creates a divot in my crimp tube. I need to get a little extra wire here so I can get closer. So I created a divot in my crimp tube, and then I'm going to turn it on its side, and I'm going to use the rounder, the outside bit, to go around and around it. The biggest thing with crimps, guys, is that they're so soft. You don't want to use a ton of force. You just want to use a lot of compressions to really get it cinched down into the nylon coating of the wire. I can trim this off, and I'm going to put a crimp cover on that guy. But it's a nice way if you want to just like attach something that's like sizable like this. It's a really nice way to attach it securely. You know, jump rings can be a little tricky. Sometimes they open They aren't always the most secure way to attach things. This is another nice way. So this is a crimp cover. This is a 3mm crimp cover. It's like an open-faced bead. I'm just going to slide that over the top of my crimp tube and compress. You want to try to get the two sides to meet each other really nicely. I'm compressing the seam so it's inside the loop rather than outside, so it is a little bit hard to see, but I actually overlap and layer the two ends. So if this was your crimp cover, I like to push one side down and then sort of layer over the top of the other side. So that can be, that's a nice way. That might even slide inside that hole. No, not quite, but still nice. And then I can string this beaded chain through my Softflex jump ring. And it is a little bit of a tight fit, but it should fit. Just gonna have to fidget with each section to get the beads to go through. But that's good because then it won't move around on me once it's in the center. One bead at a time, please. Okay, we're almost to the center. Let's just see this being such a pretty and simple, easy design, but something you could wear with like almost anything. And then yeah, let's just attach some Softflex, some white Softflex up the back. And we've got just like a really simple, let me pull it up onto one of these black pads so you can see it better. There we go. And then we'll just do, I'll just do this Softflex up the back. I love to use exposed Softflex, especially in all the fun colors that we carry. But I could see like this white Softflex just being really nice and crisp up the back side of this. And then you've got this beautiful Swarovski crystal hanging down here at the bottom. So yet another project that I will have to finish up to show you guys, but I'll try to do that today. Tomorrow if I can't get to it today. So thanks for spending time with me today. Thank you for the box, Beadaholique. You guys did such a fantastic job. I felt so inspired today by all of your products. I hope everyone out there will go check them out at beadaholique.com, and it is coupon code SEED20. If you didn't write it down, that's SEED 20 to get 20% off all the items that I opened in the mystery box today. So I look forward to using some of the other products in upcoming projects as well. And just so you guys know, those treasure trove kits are available. You've got 1 week to get one before we do the live show next week and we can bead together. That's on 9/27, September 27th, Wednesday at 1 p.m. We're doing a Softflex Live Design Challenge with Jesse James Beads, brand new kits on October 4th. And I haven't seen them, so I don't even know what they look like. And then October 11th, we're doing a Softflex Live sale again. So I'll have a lot of really awesome gemstones and sterling silver and cool things that you guys can buy right here on Facebook. So thank you guys for spending the afternoon with me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next week for the next live show. And Beadaholique, thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and if you want to learn more about Softflex, you know where to find us, www.softflexcompany.com. Bye.